person, woman, man, camera, TV. Supposing we hit the body with a tremendous, whether it's ultraviolet or just very powerful light, and I think you said that hasn't been checked, but you're going to test it. And then I said, supposing you brought the light inside the body, which you can do either through the skin or in some other way. And I think you said you're going to test that too. Sounds interesting. Right, and then I see the disinfectant where it knocks it out in a minute, 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside or almost a cleaning? Because you see it gets on the lungs and it does a tremendous number on the lungs. So it'd be interesting to check that. So that you're going to have to use medical doctors with. But it sounds interesting to me.
Fucking stupid!
The kidney has a very special place in the heart. In 1917, they say, right, the great pandemic certainly was a terrible thing where they lost anywhere from 50 to 100 million people. Probably ended the Second World War. All the soldiers were sick. And we have a man who is totally corrupt and the worst president in the history of our country, who is cognitively impaired, in no condition to lead, and is now in charge of dealing with Russia and possible nuclear war. Just think of it. We would be in World War II very quickly. China, I was probably the first one. I said it came from the lab in Wuhan. I knew that. But I said, and I've said right from the beginning, it was the lab in Wuhan. It got out. It got out of the lab. I think it was incompetence. I really believe it was incompetence. I really believe it was incompetence. More, people said, I was charging China so much money in tariffs and taxes that a lot of people said they did it to get me out. And I like China, and I like President Xi a lot. I think he's a friend of mine. He may not be a friend of mine anymore, but I think he probably respects. From what I hear, he was saying that China has total respect for Donald Trump and for Donald Trump's very, very large brain.
You serious?
I think what I want to do is I want to talk just for a second. I wrote this out, and it's very close to my heart because I was down there, and I watch our police and our firemen down on 7-Eleven, down at the World Trade Center right after it came down. I could tell you about the elevators on a tremendous aircraft carrier, the Gerald Ford, and they decided not to use hydraulic like a John Deere tractor. They decided to use magnets. We're going to use magnets to lift up the elevators with 7 planes on them. They had an almost $1 billion cost overrun on the magnetic elevators. Think of it, magnets. Now, all I know about magnets is this. Give me a glass of water. Let me drop it on the magnets. That's the end of the magnets. With the Air Force ordering a lot of planes, in particular the F-35 fighter jet, which is, almost like an invisible fighter. I was asking the Air Force guys, I said, how good is this plane? They said, well, sir, you can't see it. I said, yeah, but in a fight, a fight like I watch on the movies, the fight, they're fighting. How good is it? They say, well, it wins every time because the enemy cannot see it. Even if it's right next to it, it can't see it. I said, that helps. If you're the President of the United States, you can declassify just by saying it's declassified, even by thinking about it. This is an island surrounded by water.
we have under our feet more liquid gold, I call it oil. I just want to thank all of the incredible men and women who have done such a great job in helping with Florence. This is a tough hurricane, one of the wettest we've ever seen from the standpoint of water. You know, we have a world, right? So the world is tiny compared to the universe. We have a situation where we're looking very strongly at sinks and showers and other elements of bathrooms where you turn the faucet on in areas where there's tremendous amounts of water, where the water rushes out to sea because you could never handle it. They take a shower and water comes dripping out, just dripping out, very quietly dripping out. People are flushing toilets 10 times, 15 times, as opposed to once. Trust me, I'm like a smart person. They're eating the dogs. I went to a boat company in South Carolina. The boat, I said, how is it? He said, it's a problem, sir. They want us to make all electric boats. He said, the problem is the boat is so heavy, it can't float. So I said, let me ask you a question. And he said, nobody ever asked this question. And it must be because of MIT, my relationship to MIT. Very smart. I say, what would happen if the boat sank from its weight and you're in the boat and you have this tremendously powerful battery and the battery's now underwater and there's a shark that's approximately 10 yards over there? Do I get electrocuted if the boat is sinking, water goes over the battery, the boat is sinking? Do I stay on top of the boat and get electrocuted? Or do I jump over by the shark and not get electrocuted? Because I will tell you, he didn't know the answer. He said, you know, nobody's ever asked me that question. But you know what I'd do if there was a shark or you get electrocuted? I'll take electrocution every single time. I went to an Ivy League school. I'm very highly educated. I know words. I have the best words. He was awarded the Bronze Star and the Combat Infantryman Badge for his service. The latest act of resistance is the op-ed published in the failing New York Times by an anonymous, really an anonymous. Our army manned the airport. It ran the ramparts. The state of California passed an outrageous law declaring their whole state to be a sanctuary. You know, we just set another stock rocket. You saw that, right? The stock market. Technology companies are really big beneficiaries. The wall is under construction. A lot of work has been done. A lot of renovation. When they gaze upon Yosemite's towering sequoias. Today, I'm also calling upon all 50 states to immediately waive all applicable state taxes on ICE officers. Remove 10,000 known or suspected gang members. They sacrifice every day for the furniture and future of their children. Decided to shield and shelter criminal. Look, wait. We must seek real bipartisan solutions. But there's no better word than stupid. Nobody can do it like me. Nobody.
Nobody's stronger than me.
Nobody has better toys than I do.
There's nobody bigger or better at the military than I am.
Nobody loves the Bible more than I do.
There is nobody that respects women more than I do.
What?
Nobody's had crowds like I have.
There's nobody that understands the horror of nuclear better than me.
Nobody even understands it but me. It's called devaluation. The sale of the uranium that nobody knows what it means. I know what it means.
Nobody knows more about trade than me.
Nobody
knows the game better than I do.
Nobody in the history of this country has ever known so much about infrastructure as Donald Trump.
Nobody knows the system better than me, which is why I alone can fix it.